Hello my friends, as promised, I'm back within a day and not taking my usual 2 days hiatus before coming back, but that is because I have so much to talk to you guys about. And today, fortunately or unfortunately, we will be jumping from one subject to the other. However, the first thing I would like to talk to you guys about is, of course, the hearing that took place over the last few days. So, Judge Warby will give his judgment sometime during the next 2-3 weeks. They said second week in February. And although it is not unheard of for a judge to reserve judgment for a later date, I cannot really understand it in this particular case. This is, after all, a civil case which had been dragging on for more than a year now. Added to that, the only thing Judge Warby now has to decide at this point in time is whether he is going to give a summary judgment in favor of either the defendant or the plaintiff, or whether it is going to go to trial. So, I don't know, this is just a little weird. I did watch Yankee Wally's video on the same subject earlier today, and according to Yankee, this is actually good news, because if Warby was going to give a summary judgment, he would have done so yesterday or even today. I'm not exactly sure whether I agree with her, but yes, I'm not an expert in British law either, so I will reserve my judgment on that until we actually get word from Judge Warby. The other thing that concerns me a little, and that is looking back at this court case over the last few months, we are by now all aware that Meghan Markle had to change her statement or her affidavit because she had finally admitted that she had allowed for information to be passed on to Omid Scobie and Caroline Durant for the book Finding Freedom. As a matter of fact, it has now come out that at least 4 staff members had actually been fact-checking the book, which means there is no way Meghan Markle can turn around and say that there was no involvement from either her or Harry in this book, as it was their staff who fact-checked this book. Now, how can the staff fact-check the book if the staff wasn't interacting with Meghan and Harry on these facts? Now, had it been you or me or someone with less money who was caught out on a lie, lying to the court in effect, someone who had to change her affidavit or her statement to now fit her lie, we would have been charged with contempt of court. And if we weren't charged with contempt of court, having been caught out on a lie such as that, the case would have been thrown out. But this is not the case with Meghan Markle. And of course, I don't even need to ask you guys why you think she is being treated differently. But I'm just going to leave it there. We will wait for Judge Warby's judgment in a few weeks' time, and we'll take it from there. At least now we have some time, and over the next few days, I will post those statements, post and read this time. I will post and read a couple of the statements to you over the next few days. So let us move on to something else. So Meghan and Harry donated lunch to a veteran charity, which was a very nice gesture. Mission continues empower veterans who are adjusting to life at home and helps veterans find purpose through community. And that's their mission statement on their website. Now that is a very noble cause, and I'm sure a much needed one. However, Harry and Meghan attached a note printed in big bold letters in order to be camera ready to say that the gesture was in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so, here is where I'm at. The fact that Mission Continues is doing good work and can't be faulted or criticized is one thing. Donating lunches is not a bad thing either. But why in honor of Martin Luther King? I'm not negative towards the legacy of MLK either, be that what it may. I'm not American. But what was Meghan and Harry's motivation for donating lunches to veterans in honor of Martin Luther King? What does Martin Luther King's legacy have to do with veterans? So that had me thinking a little, and I was wondering, is it instead Meghan Markle's narcissism, which cannot allow for even a dead hero to be celebrated without inserting herself or trying to take center stage? If that is the case, how mentally sick is that? And then I came up with something else. Did they do that in response to it becoming known that Prince William helped prepare and hand out hot meals at a homeless charity called Passage on 3 occasions in November? Yes, this was done without informing the media, without even Kensington putting it on their own Instagram page. But somehow the newspapers did get hold of it, and it was now published in January. Now, if that is why they send these lunches to Compton and to Mission Continues, then I'm asking you, how mentally sick is that? Now let us take a trip to a place where fairies reside and imagine that they actually meant well. Then why on God's earth are they making it public? So I would like you guys to tell me what you think. Okay, moving on to the next thing. On the 18th of January, an article appeared in New Idea. Yes, I know it's a rather trashy magazine. The article, however, said that the Sussexes had been dumped by Netflix. According to the article, Netflix aren't happy with what the Sussexes are coming up with. And for the first time in a long time, I actually believe a New Idea article. I had been told this very same thing by someone in the industry almost 2 weeks ago. According to my source, their offerings to date were tacky, to say the least, and looked and sounded more like a vanity project which had been badly produced. I was also told that the pair are struggling to get the help of professional production assistants, as discussed in a previous video. So, suffice it to say that the New Idea article is not much different from what I was told by my friend. Yes, let's rather call her that, as I'm tired of the word source, which Meghan and Harry had long since turned the word into a synonym for their lies. Something I have been meaning to talk to you guys about, but which I had been wondering whether I should perhaps instead wait for Samantha Markle's book before I do so. However, I decided that the one does not really have anything to do with the other, so let's quickly get into it. I watched a recent video by Emz and Raz, and I'll put the link in the description box below. In this video, Emz and Raz discussed the possibility of Harry having impregnated a member of staff after a brief fling, and that his marriage to Meghan happened so quickly because of that. I actually agree with Emz and Raz that a scenario like this would explain a lot. One of the things it would explain is why it appears as if Meghan and Harry do not have Archie with them most of the time. The last time we saw a live child with Meghan, or for that matter Harry, was in May 2020 during Archie's supposed first birthday. So could it be that Harry has visitation rights, but that due to the COVID restrictions, the child had been unable to travel, or the Harkles had been unable to travel, or Harry had been unable to travel? It is definitely a possibility, and looking back may also explain the moon bumps, or a child who looks and acts older than his age. But there's one thing that bothers me. Will Meghan Markle's narcissistic personality allow her to play second fiddle in anyone's life, even the life of a little boy? Would Meghan Markle go so far as to marry someone she was not attracted to, take on someone else's child for fame and money? I guess that's a possibility. Although Emz and Raz's speculation makes sense in so many ways, we also know that Meghan Markle is a control freak. So I find it hard to believe that she would be prepared to relinquish control of anything or anybody to someone else. And that is my only problem with Emz and Raz's idea. Other than that, it's a distinct possibility. Okay, my friends, that's all from me for today. Like I said, now that we have a bit of time, I will work on the other affidavits and statements for you, and in upcoming videos, I will actually read them to you. Okay, so until the next one, that's me, and I'm saying bye.